Shoot. Hit the button, Daryl, and we're videotaping.
Oh, cool.
I meant to just do a little test. Hey, this is artist, entrepreneur, and art educator Eric McRay. Hey, that looks pretty good, Daryl. I'm sitting here with Daryl Council. Also, his studio's called Fly Dragon Art.
Yeah,
And you can call him DJ. He just got a list of names you can't call him, but you can call him. you call him those names. There's other names you can't call him.
There you go.
Right. So we're in my studio, Daryl. I met at the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center here in Raleigh when I was doing a workshop on the business of art or entrepreneurism. And Daryl came to my workshop, and he's come here for a consultation. He was so kind to bring me a fantastic painting. Check this out, folks. It's one of his prints. So he does prints of his work. These are available. What's your website, Daryl?
It's being built, but it's flydragonart.com.
And you're on Instagram?
On
and
Instagram, DCJ Paints.
And are you on Facebook?
I'm on Facebook right now.
Not on Facebook, but you can see him on Instagram. I wish you could see this beautiful landscape he did. I got it wrapped up, but I'll post a picture of this later. I didn't want to get it wet. It's a rainy day here in Raleigh. But so Daryl's come in here, and we're going to do a consultation. We're going to talk art. We're going to talk business. And he was kind enough to be willing to share aspects of his life and his career and ask questions, and we're going to address it. Hopefully, it's going to help folks out there who are dealing with the exact same issues. Some things are fundamental to all of us as creative people. Pardon me, whether you're a sculptor, painter, filmmaker,
Oops.
I think your phone just went on, brother.
Yeah.
You name it. I mean, if you're a creative spirit, you're doing comic books, graphic novels, you name it. So don't think this is just a painting vlog. It's a creative spirit vlog. And as well, if you're just an entrepreneur and you're trying to figure out how to get your barber shop off the ground, or your hair salon, or you're doing tax preparation, you name it. Really, the concepts of business are pretty fundamental. If you're selling bread, or you're selling art, or we're not, anything legal and legit. I mean,
right.
Pretty much the same concept. So please tune in. Don't check out, because we may be talking a little bit more about painting and the creative arts. So what's your first question, Daryl?
Well, I guess my first question is the best way to get your stuff out here, and besides social media, should you concentrate on shows? Should you concentrate on events, competitions? As an artist really trying to get out there, what would be the first thing you would tell them?
Oh, by the way, this is Daryl's hat, Fly Dragon hat. He brought me a hat, so I'm sure you got these available too. Right?
Oh yeah, these are available. Article 74, right here on South Street in Raleigh.
Oh, sweet. So to answer your question about what's the best way to get out there, the answer is kind of like, what's that? D, all the above.
Right.
It's really building your brand, and this is real about branding. If somebody says brand, that sounds so commercial. I'm a real artist. I don't have a brand. Well, Picasso had a brand. Matisse had a brand. Warhol had a brand. Jeff Koons has a brand. Michelangelo had a brand. And brand means reputation.
Okay.
If you're a slacker, you're lazy, you're trifling, and you have no talent, no work ethic, that's your brand.
Right.
Loser.
Right. Loser. Yeah,
sorry tail loser.
Yeah.
A lazy artist is your brand and your mission statement.
Right.
So, but if you go getter, you're hungry, you got fire in the belly, you got some work ethic, you're willing to put in the hours, drink all the coffee, drink the Red Bull, go the extra hours, push, get your spouse, significant other mad because you're working so much, then you're probably doing the right stuff.
And when you always have paint on you, even if you take 2 showers a day, you're still paint somewhere.
You in the grind.
You're in the grind.
You're in the grind, because you're a working man. It's not just about going to the art openings and pretty ladies and getting tattoos and screwing around and all the stuff that people think that artists just do all the time.
Right.
And that may be part of the lifestyle for some people, but really, it's really about the creativity. They look at Basquiat, Van Gogh, whoever, when they're dead and gone, they don't go like, well, let's talk about Basquiat's hair.
Right. It's all about their art.
Yeah, I mean, they can talk about the image of the man, but bottom line is he made so many finite pieces of work, drawings, collages, paintings, and now they have a market value, and they're historic, significant pieces of American art. And the bottom line is because he produced the work. And so if you're not producing, you're not really an artist, in my opinion. So, You may have the potential to be an artist. Being an artist is like a verb.
Right.
It's a go. It's
Right.
action.
Right.
It's like love. Love is not just talking, it's doing.
It's action.
It's action. So when you're saying you're building your career as an artist or your brand, a big part of it is really building a fishing net. So Daryl and I, like Opie and Andy, we get us a fishing pole, we go down to the fishing hole, we sitting out there, we might catch us a mess of brim.
Right.
But what if we get on a shrimper?
With a big old net and drag it behind us.
Man, we're pulling in about a ton.
Right. Right.
We could feed a whole village, not just, Saturday afternoon meal.
Right.
So the thing is that you want to be on social media. You want to be on as many platforms as you can manage. You want to, because tomorrow Facebook might say, nope.
Right.
YouTube might say, nope. Companies go out of business. This is free platforms.
Right.
Free.
Free. Yeah.
People complain, but it's free.
Yeah.
I used to go out and spend $300 printing postcards.
Wow.
Okay, I spent $300 printing postcards. Postcards you get in the mail all the time, come this art open and yada yada. Then I would go and buy $500 worth of stamps.
Right.
Then I'd have to pay some young people to sit here with me or my wife, and we'd lick 2,000 stamps.
Wow.
Or we sitting here with wet paper towels, dabbing stamps. That's why you laugh.
Right.
After you didn't put all that stuff together, that's if you don't use a bulk rate. If you use a bulk rate, you can mail a bunch of stuff, but you have no guarantee it's going to get there on time.
Right.
U.S. Postal Service makes it so cheap because they send it whenever they want. I've had stuff show up after the event.
Right.
So you pay regular rate on stamps at that time. And now I'm $800 in
I got you.
to reach over 2,000 people.
And now you can reach millions for free.
Wow. Man, I mean, you can reach thousands of people on Facebook ads. I don't use Google ads, but Facebook ads, or you use Instagram or something. You're reaching thousands of people. So those mailings were very effective, and I would make my money back and make a profit, and I help build my brand and reputation.
Right.
So the thing is, there's no excuse for not using social media effectively and learning. And there's people use it much better than me, especially the younger people. They know all the tricks and stuff, so I learn from younger people. But is that fishing net is really the attitude, is that you need to be in publications and on social media and third-party speaking. I've been on radio, TV, internet. I've been in Southern Living, Our State, all kinds of magazines, publications.
Right.
People producing so much stuff with me. My wife said, we weren't able to get that article. We weren't able to read that. I said, honey, if we can keep up with all of it, then we're not doing the right thing.
Right.
It should outpace you.
Right.
If you get it and then you laminate it, put it on your wall, and everybody in your house sit around and bow down to your newspaper article, you probably haven't done the right thing. It should be stuff flying by you so fast.
I got you, yeah.
People say, didn't you see yourself on TV? No, I didn't.
I forgot. Yeah.
I was on TV, Shazam. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because I'm out there.
Right.
I mean, when, it was a senator, a U.S. senator. He was running for president. I'm not going to say his name because he's kind of disgraced now. But his people came to me and asked me to be part of his campaign launch, and it was done here at Art Space. My paintings hanging all in the background. 24 hours later, I'm going to cover the News Observer with a U.S. senator.
Nice.
And I'm in the News Observer with him, and I was on WRL.
Right.
All in the news. I go to church the next day, people standing there looking at me like, oh my God, I saw you.
I've seen you on the news a couple times.
Yeah, and I was okay. And then at the same time, the funny thing is when I had a chance to hang out with this senator, a buddy of mine was in Afghanistan, I said, he wants to come home. Can you get him to come home? He said, sure. They pulled all the strings for him to come home.
Wow.
His wife wouldn't sign off on the paperwork, so he couldn't come home.
Wow.
So I was able to influence a U.S. senator to bring a guy back from Afghanistan.
Right.
His wife wouldn't sign off on it. That's another story, right? So.
But that story, though, leads me into where the gift of gab. You got to speak.
Yeah, you got to be able to communicate with people. And presentation.
Right.
And you don't necessarily walk around with an Armani suit, but you got to conduct yourself with a certain kind of gravitas and a certain confidence and authority. Like my mentor says, you paint with authority. So you should walk with your head up and your shoulders back and project your voice. Not like, I'm an artist and I like to paint it. You got to, if you don't believe in yourself, why should I believe in you?
Right.
Why would I even take time to meet with you, dude, if I didn't think you was serious?
Right.
I can waste my time with this cat if he don't know what he want.
Right.
He come here, his logo, his merchandise.
Oh, one other thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's on his game.
My card.
There's his card too.
Must have one of those.
There's Daryl. There you go. Can y'all see that? There's my man. He's got his card. So the question is, do you have your cards, your flyers, your whatever you need to do business?
Right.
It doesn't have to be excellent, the best in the whole world, but at least have something to show people.
Right.
So that back to that initial thing, you got to get out there, press the flesh, be at events, hug the babies,
Right.
and it's
be everywhere.
You got to be everywhere.
One thing. Yeah. Okay.
And I don't do as much of that because I have kids now, and
right.
I don't really care to do it as much.
Well, I have a 5-year-old, so that's where I juggle.
Yeah.
But now he loves to paint, so he's in the studio with me.
Yeah, and my boy comes with me. My son travels with me.
Right.
My daughter doesn't as much, but my son is in the game. It's like, we like the Green Hornet and Cato.
Oh, nice.
He's with me, and I can count on him. He's got my back.
Oh, nice. Does he do any art?
My daughter does. My son's more. That's not his thing.
Left brain.
Yeah. He's a little bit of Renaissance man. He can do everything. Oh, wow. But I remember one time we was on a road trip, and man, I was so exhausted I couldn't drive. First time I've ever done this in my life. I pulled the van over, got in the back of the van, and went to sleep. I said, buddy, I need you to watch my back and watch everything while I sleep. And he sat over me and watched me sleep. Slept about 45 minutes. Woke up. He said, Dad, you good? And I said, I'm good. We got back on the road.
Nice.
And he was at the age then I felt secure.
For him to do that. Yeah.
Right. I wasn't worried.
There's probably an age that most people wouldn't feel secure with their kid.
But he was so mature.
Right.
And
mentally.
And my trust was so great.
Yeah.
So that you have to be able to present yourself verbally. Yes. You present yourself in your image.
Right.
And then as well, that whole being able to present yourself. So I had a consultation with a young lady here recently, and I asked some questions about her work, and it was a lot of vagueness.
Right.
And I said, you should know your story.
Right.
You look at any video, Google Stan Lee, the guy who created Spider-Man.
Right.
You ask him about the creation of Spider-Man, he'll tell you almost the exact same story. Right. Because it's his truth.
Right. This is truth. Yeah.
If you know your truth.
That's like my art. It's my passion.
Yeah.
So it's not premeditated. It happened on its own. Like it's natural.
So you should be able to communicate who you are and what you do pretty cleanly and concisely. Right. And when somebody asks you a question, it should be spoken with a certain authority.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not an arrogance or a cockiness like, man, that guy, I can't stand him.
Right.
Some people are going to dislike you just because you got a passion or talent. But that's jealousy usually.
Right.
But you should be able to communicate with authority and the certainty of who you are to the other person.
Mm-hmm. And
so if you're in front of TV, an internet interview, a newspaper interview, I was in this article in the News and Observer called What Gives Life Purpose? And the reporter had met me once before, was so impressed. She contacted me and said, we want to do this article about what gives life purpose. I said, oh, sure, okay. She said, do you need time to prepare? I said, no, why do I need to prepare?
Right.
I know what I believe.
Right.
I know my guiding principles.
Absolutely.
I know who I am.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing a phone interview, and all I can hear is it.
Right.
So Sunday rolled around. You come in the Sunday paper, they send a reporter by here. Person shoots hundreds of pictures. They on the floor shooting pictures at me. I thought I was going to be, they said going to be doctors, lawyers, all kinds of people in the community.
Right.
So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to be on this list of people. When the article comes out, there's this huge picture of me in, I think it was the arts, or one of the non-arts. It was a non-arts article.
Oh, wow. Okay. But
it was like in Life and Business or something, right? Mm-hmm. And this huge picture of me with my paint, and looked like I could fly or something, right?
Right.
And it was a long article about me, and then it was like, oh, and then here's Dr. So-and-so, and Professor So-and-so, and Mr. This, and Nurse this, and so they had little black and white pictures in their blurb, and I had a picture this big of me in the N&O.
Right.
And half the article was about Eric McRay. Nice. I was stunned.
Right.
Stunned.
Yeah.
Because I knew my purpose. I said, what gives life purpose for me? I said to paint is to pray. Right. To create is to pray. Yeah. I'm communing with God every time I create.
Yeah.
I'm a product of His creation, and I celebrate the talents when I create. It's a form of worship.
Yeah. It really is.
Yeah.
Because you're trusting in God that this is it. I feel you on that.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't have to go study.
But you've carried that your whole life. You kind of knew that your whole life.
Yes, sir.
Me, I had bumps in the road and things like that. I started out painting, but there was always something missing in my life.
Right.
And when I got back in front of the easel and all that, that's when I was like, wow, this is what's been missing.
Hey, Matisse really started to flourish as a painter later in his life. He was not a young man with Picasso. It was he did his whole life.
Right.
So everybody takes different.
You can see the transition in Picasso's work.
Oh yeah.
Whereas you can see transition in a lot of people's work, but a lot in Picasso's work.
Oh yeah, because he had time to grow.
Right.
And that's okay as long as you get there. It doesn't really matter how you start.
Right.
And so you start on this journey. And it's working. So now you want to figure out how to successfully maneuver it and get to where you want to go and enjoy the journey.
Yeah. I'm enjoying the journey regardless.
Yeah.
Because I'm at a point in my life where money doesn't make me happy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You need money, but money
you need money. I need money.
But money didn't give me my purpose.
No, my purpose is creating.
Right.
That's it.
And
creativity. Without creativity, I'm dead.
Ooh, that's powerful. He said without creativity, he's dead. Because that's so much of his lifeblood.
True. And I was dead before I started really getting back into my creativity.
Right.
I was dead. I was not the person I am today. Now I truly know who I am.
Now, there's a book I read called The Success Trap, and it was about this lawyer who his father was a lawyer. I think his grandfather was a lawyer. He hated it. He wanted to be a carpenter.
Right.
Oh, boy. He would get his hands dirty and take off his suit.
Yeah.
Take off his Brooks Brothers suit.
Bleed a little bit, sweat a little bit.
Yeah, you know. The guy, he was affluent enough we could snort coke on a regular basis.
Right.
And that helped him maintain his persona of his BMW and his cocaine and all this stuff.
Right.
And eventually, he just fell all apart.
Uh-huh.
Emotionally fell apart. And it talks about how he came back to life through carpentry. So now he's on a scaffold. He got power tools. He's getting dirty. He's sweating. Got sawdust on him.
Really alive.
The man found purpose, his direction. He started making a living as a carpenter. He was happier than ever, healthier than ever because he was mentally healthy. It led to his physical health.
Right.
He didn't need the cocaine to function.
Right.
He needed coke to be the lawyer.
And without mental health, you're not going to have no physical health.
Yeah, and that's so much of society. Everybody talking about mental health, mental health, mental health. Yeah, because a lot of people are miserable.
In what they're doing in the day-to-day life.
Yeah,
they're creating somebody else's dreams coming true instead of making their dreams come true.
Exactly.
And so many people are faced with thinking that their dream is based off of money.
Right.
Where it's the other way around. The money will come if you're acting out your dream.
And my mother taught me that. She said, if you're successful at what you do, you will make money.
Right.
And I just made a vlog post the other day with my buddy from high school, middle school. I mean, he told the stories of me making art when I was a kid. It's now turned into something quite lucrative. I mean, but that's because I love it and I'm good at it.
Right.
And I've been very blessed. So I think when people feel like they're going to chase a dollar, when I go into the schools and I talk to the young people, I tell them, don't chase money first. Chase your passion and your love and your skill. Then you learn how to commoditize it.
Right.
You got to be able to monetize something because otherwise, you're going to live with your parents forever?
Right.
No. You got to be able to commoditize it.
Yeah.
If you want to be a plumber, you got to be able to get out there and put your magnetic on your truck and go around and fix stuff.
Yeah.
But you're left getting your hands dirty.
Right.
So, don't, you get one life. And if somebody says, well, I may be reincarnated. If you come back as a cockroach, you probably will not be making art or being the brain surgeon you want to be or the pilot or the whatever. You'll just crawl up trees and under houses or whatever. But in this life, you only get one shot and you better go for it.
See, where I come from, people don't really believe in your dreams. So my dreams were shut down. When I was out there trying to do them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I feel you.
And it got kind of instilled in me.
Where you from?
Yeah. Raleigh.
Local.
South Raleigh.
Okay.
Yeah. Raleigh, Cary, this whole area.
Gotcha.
My dad was from Apex. My mother was from Cary.
So you're a local guy.
Yeah.
But that you find that everywhere, man, because there's a lot of people who don't believe in art or don't believe in the arts thus they have this fear of their young person starving or falling hardship. Man, I know people of all kind of professions that struggle.
Right.
Some of it's probably because they're lazy, but
mine was as a kid. I was told it wasn't cool to do art.
Oh,
At
yeah.
13 years old, my dad was like, "Man, what are you doing? I want you playing football.
Playing
What are you
football.
doing with this art?"
well, let me ask you this question: if you took 100 kids and say we're going 1,000 kids, and you taught 1,000 kids art, graphic design, illustration, all these different ways, programming, what they could do, web-based design, print design, and you took 1,000 kids and taught them all that, and took another 1,000 kids and taught them a sport, how many of those kids would make it to the PGA, the NBA, the NHL, out there bouncing the ball back and forth with Serena Williams? Out of that 1,000, and how many of that 1,000 kids you taught art would be somewhere designing furniture, video games,
Right.
working on murals, doing graphic design,
There's
signage.
so much to art that a lot of kids don't know.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know.
It's all part of the fiber of our culture, and now with the internet, it's even more prevalent.
I'm just thankful we've gotten to a day and time where it's okay for a black kid from the inner city to be an artist.
Oh yeah.
You know